A few moments later.
Just leaving up the hole now.
The question is, will it go all the way around?
Yeah, where will it stop?
The thing is, if it goes all the way up and down and it snaps, then that's the windscreen gone.
Sounds like the Titanic sinking.
I know, right?
What happens if you let go?
Bad things happen if it's
Ben, is the windscreen okay?
windscreen's inches, I think. Well, this is good, whatever.
That's one way to clean out a car.
Keep going, Carl.
That's its balance point.
That, really? Oh, well, it's definitely right.
Right, so it's not top heavy, it's right heavy.
It's the windscreen weight. So I might have to I might have to weld a few weights onto it to make it.
Well, yeah, but that'll do till you get a jack in, right? You are getting a jack in, right?
No, this is the idea of supporting it so that now we can work on. Okay, so as you've now seen, the Spitfire is in both the brackets, which means it can now spin 360 degrees. Well, actually, it doesn't quite spin 360 degrees because sometimes these brackets catch. I am going to get a piece of wood to go between the 2 feet so that the 2 back and front legs are completely stable, and that way I'll just be able to spin it around without any issues. But it now is going to allow me to get the rest of it sorted now. Now that I flipped the body upside down, I can see how bad it is, which I should have showed you before I put that piece of wood in, but those guys have got tired and gone for a coffee break, so I'm not flipping it back around right now. But I will have to come up with a way of locking it into place, although when it's fully flipped upside down, its natural resting places like 220 degrees from original starting point. So although I've measured, it seems to be a lot heavier on the right side, but then I still have the pedals bolted in and I still have the brake servos and stuff on the front, so there is probably more weight on this side, which is why it still wants to lean that way. Currently we just got it wedged with a block of wood so that it doesn't roll over by itself, and hopefully when I come in the garage tomorrow it'll still actually be attached to the bits I've welded, which it should be. So back bracket, as you can see, this pole has a little bit of play in it, and I welded a piece on the end to stop it sliding off. Go on to the front bracket. The front bracket has obviously got a bigger gap because it has to clear things like this, but I did something smarter on this side, which is I put a nut and a bolt through it, and that way I can still take it off if I need to, because I'm going to have to make repairs to this front panel, and rather than trying to tilt it that way when I want to do that, I'll take the front off, lift it on top of this wooden frame, and then put it back. But yeah, I'm going to call it a day because me and my mates are going out for pizza now with my wife's family, so peace out. Okay, so it's Sunday now and I'm back out working on the car. The rotisserie is working perfectly, as you can see, upside down. So first job is just going to be start grinding everything down, sanding it down to see what's good and what's not, so I can start prepping patches and stuff to go in. Obviously there's more of not than there is good. I'll take you a quick run over the body. Okay, so in terms of starting from the back, you can see that it's been patched before terribly here, and the same on the other side, and it's also pretty rotten all along this edge. So a whole new rear valence, it looks like. This inside edge is the same, holes everywhere. So I'll make a template of this boot pan and make another one from scratch. The tunnel isn't too bad by the looks of it. It looks like it's just going to be surface rust. I'll see if it's thinner when I obviously get through it. But this lip is obviously gone where the boot joins that rear tunnel bit. Now obviously the hole that I cut out to access the handbrake cable because I couldn't get it at it from underneath. This bit is knackered, but I'll try and get that back into relative place. It's been patched there before. Rear wheel arch doesn't look too bad, but it's going to need some work because that looks like it's all God knows what. Again, this area is going to need some work, a lot of work, because that's just all rust. But the drive shaft tunnel is solid. It doesn't look as bad on that side, but that corner needs a lot of work. All this bit needs work. All of this bit needs work. This is the worst bit, where it looks like it's just layered new metal over old metal. Sill on this side is obviously shot. It's not even attached in some places. The sill on the opposite side is shot. But there are some sections of the floor pan that's savable. Like basically everything from this centre tunnel and most of this bit I'll probably have to cut from there out so I can keep these original ridges, but that's the biggest fuck up part of it because that is where I dropped the car and it is completely dented in the floor pan on this side, which before that was perfectly good up until about this point. I was going to save all of this piece, but now, well, when I cut this out I'm going to try and bend that back and then hammer it in just to get it back into shape, but I need to take this part out first to do that. The other side isn't as bad on this section. It looks pretty solid all the way up to the front with a few minor rust patches there, like I'll have to replace that bit. Then moving on to the front, it's all corroded to shit there. It's all corroded to shit there. This side sill's the worst bit. You can see all the way inside the car, which is nice, but that's because whoever repaired the sills last time didn't do it properly. They didn't replace all the way up to the door seam. All they did was cut that bit off, lap over the original sill, and then do some spot weld. So it basically left a nice lovely gap for water to run inside. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to take out obviously the inside supports and stuff, you know, for the strengthening post that's on the opposite side of that, which you can just see through there, because I'm probably gonna have to patch in a big piece here. Well, I'm hoping to cut out, you know, from the edge of the pan, around these, all the way along this, all the way to the end, because that's all been patched in before, and then just undo the spot welds on this side, which might be difficult because there's nothing left. But I need to make sure I get templates of how far over this comes and stuff from the edge before I cut these sills off, because I'm not going to have much points to reference. That's the only thing stopping the body from spinning further around, so let's get that. But right, I'm going to set you up on the stand now and just get cracking on starting to sand this down until my mate Dan wakes up, and then I can send my wife to come pick him up and he can assist. car's great and all,